Welcome back to another episode of Your Pennsylvania Ancestors. I'm going to track down that marriage record for John Curry. So a lot of records are not digitized and online for genealogy. It's just a fact. Marriage records is one of the things that's kind of not there. I am going to, though, start with the popular genealogy websites, and I ultimately end up having to get this record, how would you put it? The old-fashioned way. I end up having to get this record how we used to do genealogy back before there was the internet. So follow me on this journey. There's some special bonus member tutorials if you want to become an Inner Circle member and access those. You'll find the information in the show notes. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Searching for a marriage record for John Curry is going to be interesting on the main website I use for a lot of my family history work, which is Ancestry. I'm going to show you two places to actually look for these with Pennsylvania records. But first, if Ancestry is giving you a hint, you might want to take it, you might not. But let's see what happens when we take Ancestry's hint for this possible marriage record. The first thing that I get here is some pretty wild things, right? Like, I know John Curry died outside of Philadelphia. He died in Montgomery County. I know he was born in the center of the state. It's completely possible he could have done one of these marriages in Virginia, Illinois, New Orleans, Alabama. I mean, there's a lot of John Currys, right? But I'm thinking this family rented. He was a laborer. His census information doesn't lend me to believe he was particularly wealthy. So I'm going to say these probably aren't him. Given the time frame, he's getting married before 1910, didn't have a lot of money. Transportation, yeah, there was trains, but there were not cars, weren't airplanes. I don't know. I wanted just a Pennsylvania record. So what do? Here's how you can search for Pennsylvania marriage records on Ancestry. So if I really think the person is married in Pennsylvania, I'm going to use two databases in Ancestry, and then I'm going to use Family Search. The two databases in Ancestry are Pennsylvania, U.S. marriages, 1852 to 1968. And then Pennsylvania, U.S., county marriage records, 1845 to 1963. I've looked through both of these databases, and I'm not really clear why they're separated the way they are. They both have marriage licenses in them, issued by county clerks from the various county courthouses. And in Pennsylvania, that's the Orphans Court Department, usually. But you'll find different counties in the state under each database in Ancestry. I click on the database links, and then I go in and search from there. When I search within that database, it's going to give me just results from that database and not results from Indiana or Ohio or Wisconsin or any of the other fine states in the Union. So that really is helpful. The other way that this helps me is it lets me know what counties they exactly have in these databases and what years for those counties, because they don't have records for every county between the years 1852 and 1968 or 1845 and 1963. Now, those records still exist at those counties, and I'll cover later in this episode how you get them, because that's how I had to get my record ultimately for John Curry. But here's what I found when I went into these databases on Ancestry, and then I'll cover Family Search. When I searched Ancestry for John Curry's and Anna Heberling's wedding information, their marriage license, I came across John Curry in Blair County and living in Altoona. And if you know about the center of the state, the relationship between Altoona, Bellefonte and State College is pretty close. Those communities, kind of one community in a sense. So this John Curry I found is in Altoona, Blair County. His birth year is the same as my John Curry. They're born about the same time. The marriage is about the same time. His father is William F. Curry. How is this possible? Is William Curry. The mother is Lucy Curry. Now, the mother I was looking at was Mary Curry, but I'm thinking, oh, is Lucy like her middle name, or is Mary the middle name? And the spouse is Frida R. Helbig in this transcription. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of close to Heberling, if the person, typing in this record kind of messed it up. It could be my person and Frida, like it's not Anna, but is there a term for this? A genealogical twin? Something, a man who has just a parallel identity to the person I'm researching in the community next door. So I'm going to note this in my research notes. I'm going to just, though, double check this record, because in Ancestry, I have the indexed information. This is not the original record, right? This is what someone typed up from the original. I want to look at the original. There's always more on the original record. And so I'm going to do that right now. If you're just listening to this, you might want to tune into the YouTube video, the link's in the show notes, and you can watch how you can take these film numbers from Family Search when they come up on Ancestry and get the original records for what you want. So Family Search, I'm on their site, and this is the home page, which is going to change, so it might look different when you do it. But I'm going to go to the search menu and drop down to catalog, because I'm going to take this film number that I was shown on Ancestry and plug it in here. So I'm going to click on film fiche number. I'm going to paste the number in, and I'm just going to click search and see what I get. And I get the microfilm here called Marriage License Dockets 1885 to 1916 and the Marriage License Index 1885 to 1980. Now there's a bright red text here that tells me that these are available online, and I can click here. So they're completely indexed. And the actual films are all right here. That's what the little camera icon indicates, that these microfilms have been digitized, and I can actually look at the images here on the website. I'm just going to use the index that Family Search has already done on these records. It's obviously been used by Ancestry. Family Search does share information with Ancestry, and I'm going to type in John Curry because I saw it was indexed under there, and I just want Blair County. So for residents, I'm going to type Pennsylvania, Blair, and let's see if that narrows it down enough for me, because I don't want all the John Currys in the world. I do have a John Curry that came up immediately here, a birth of 1860. That's too old for my John Curry. And I get a lot of Alleghenies here and not a lot of Blairs. Here's the John Curry that's a groom. The father's George. And here's the John Curry with the father, William, and Lucy. And this is my guy. And I can see information in the transcription that matches what I saw on Ancestry. And there's a little picture here of the image so I can actually see the original document, which is what I want to see. I want to see all the information. All right, and here we actually see on the page the ledger book that the marriage licenses were recorded into. It's flipped open, and we're going to zoom in, and here he is, John Curry. Let me get this nice and big. So that looks like it was transcribed exactly. We got William F. and Lucy Curry. This John Curry was born in Altoona. The woman was born in Johnstown. They were never married before. John Hicks, filling out the duplicate certificate because this was the minister who married them. And he crossed off Justice of the Peace or Alderman and left minister. So this is really similar, like I said before, to my John Curry, but I don't think it's him. But checking this original document really gave me confidence that through the additional details that they're not quite lining up with my John. I am now going to see if I can find the records for Center County on Family Search. Back to the Family Search homepage, I'm going to go to the catalog again, and this time I'm just going to type in the place and see what I get. So I'm doing Pennsylvania, and then Center County is spelled R-E, not E-R, and I see it here, United States, comma, Pennsylvania, comma, Center County, and here is a list of all the microfilms by category, and marriage records are considered a vital record. So let's click on this category and see if they're here. There's some birth returns, death records, delayed birth certificates. These aren't the microfilms from the orphans court, but let me click on this one and just make sure. And I can tell by the symbol here, it's got the little film symbol, not a camera symbol, which means it's still on microfilm and not accessible from home. So I can't get the marriage records, like the one I just showed for Blair County. They don't exist for Center County on here. So am I going to stop here? No. I want this marriage record. Marriage records always list the parents of the bride and the groom. I really, really, really want this. My next thing is I'm going to contact the Center County Library and Historical Museum. Wish me luck. Center County Library and Historical Museum was fantastic and sent me the original document, the original marriage license for John and Anna. What I know about the Pennsylvania marriage process is that it began in 1885. I know also from reading that there was an attempt to get marriages licensed between 1852 and 1855. The state legislature mandated it, but it didn't really get followed through at the county level. So I've seen some marriage licenses from that time period, but not enough. When I've gone back and researched my family, I haven't lucked out. And I am not sure why some people did it and why some people did not. I hope to uncover that at some point, what the rationale was, but it's not very helpful. And I have run into situations where I had ancestors in cities, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Allentown, Reading. Very fortunate having ancestors in those cities because you do eke out another 15 years of marriage licenses. And I know also that there's three parts. There's the application that the couple both must appear in person at the courthouse and testify that they're not related, give the information of their age, where they grew up or where they were born, their parents' names. That is then validated by the clerk of the orphans court, and they actually issue the marriage license, which is step 2. Then that marriage license the couple takes to whoever is officiating their marriage. So that could be a judge, an alderman, a minister, a priest, and that person completes a duplicate certificate that's then returned to the courthouse. The thing that I'm looking at as a researcher is the copy in the ledger book of all those documents. So there were 2 copies of these made, right? There's the one that's carried around, and then there's the one that's in the ledger book. Every once in a while, I've run across an original marriage certificate that the couple would have gotten, and that I've seen in pension files or naturalization paperwork. Anyway, this is what I found for John and Anna. They were both 19 years old when they got married. They were both from Benore, PA, Benore. I did some Googling around that and found the town was also called Scotia and that the town does not exist anymore. So the town was abandoned after the mining shut down, the iron ore mining, and now it's state game lands. So there's literally nothing left. It's all gone. So this should prove some interesting research. I hope to find a history of the town that would help me. I see the parents here for the groom are W.I. or J. and Mary Curry. And for the woman, I just have a W.M., small m, Heberling. There's no mother listed, which is interesting. I also see as a guardian for the woman a P.E. Hicks. So I'm going to review the research I've done on Anna M. Heberling. I believe from my recollection that her mother passed away when she was young. So I don't know who this P.E. Hicks is, though, and that's very interesting. A lot of the questions they answered were around, were they married before? Is it their first marriage? Are they related? And the answer to all that is no. Their race is given. John's occupation is also given as fireman. And Anna doesn't have an occupation. So this information is helpful in that I've confirmed the parents again. I have another source of, I believe this W is William and Mary Curry. And then I have William also for the father of Anna. And when I look at their children, their firstborn son is named William. Both of these folks' parents' name is William. Family Search has billions and billions of records. They are continually digitizing records from all over the world, and a lot of them are not indexed yet where we can easily type them in. So for my Inner Circle members, I have a tutorial on how to access these images and how to use the clerk's index to navigate through to find the record that you want. Become an Inner Circle member. The information's in the show notes, or you can go to paancestors.com and click on members for all the information. It's time to do a shout out to our new members, and we have Ancestral Tree Genealogy, Teresa Shane, and Karen. Welcome! That was my journey with John Curry and traveling to get that marriage certificate. We stopped at Ancestry, Family Search, and ultimately ended up at the county historical site for that. Typical for genealogy research, nothing is ever all in one place that we need. Next episode, I am going to go through the details of both John Curry's children and his siblings to see what I can pick up that are going to give me clues as to John Curry's parents and grandparents. This is going to be one of those really fast video montages, quick coverage of those families. This is Denise Allen with paancestors.com. I hope this journey with John Curry and finding his answers helps you discover your Pennsylvania ancestors.